Hey, what's going on, everyone? Today I'm going to be going through my list of champions that I think everyone should consider who their next rank 4 should be. I think that these are very good contenders, and as someone who plays the game a lot and has done for a long time, I've got probably a bit of a niche view on some of these picks than most, but I think these are some very, very good decisions, and I don't think you would be disappointed with any of them. So, to start off with skill, and the skill class we've got Nick Fury, Bullseye, Chioth and Crossbones. Now, to preface this, I've gone for champions that I think are dual threats or stand out massively in one or the other, so either in defense or on attack. Now, for me, Nick Fury is the best dual threat for the skill class. He's great in attack and he's great in defense. Bullseye, I think, has some elements of both. I think he's very good on defense, and he also has some capabilities on attack as well. And I think he's actually quite slept on attack, I will say. Chioth, similar, very good attacking output, but also can put in a shift defensively, especially on right nodes. Crossbones, a high sig, is very good, or can be very good on defense. Is incredibly good on attack. I want him so badly, and it pains me that I don't have him awakened at the moment. I've got some honourable mentions here. I've got Shang-Chi. Shang-Chi, just for the raw damage output, the highest damage potential of a skill in the game, and I think he's got some cracking utility. Lumatrix, recent champion, so I think the recency bias is going to come into play a bit more, but seems very solid on attack and very solid on defense. I don't have him, so I'm not too sure how he performs, but from what I've seen, looks very good. Moleman, I think he's a very good dual threat. I think he's very slept on, and I think he's very good when you run suicides. I think his damage is insane. I like his immunities he has, so I think he's a very criminally underrated shout. Moving on to the tech class, we have Future Outman, incredible champion, best dual threat in my opinion for the tech class. Arnim Zola, again, such a strong defender, but slept on attack, puts in an absolute mental shift on attack. So don't sleep on him as an attacker. Guardian. Now, I think this is kind of where a bit of the rogue shouts start coming into it. I think Guardian is so good on attack and has such good utility, and is so tanky. As a rank 4, from some of the videos I've seen, he looks nuts. And he puts in a fairly decent shift on defense as well. You can catch some people off guard. Ironheart, her utility is through the roof, especially at the moment. I think she is a phenomenal attacker, and with the implementation that we have of more difficult defenders, I think that's going to enhance her even more. Her ability to bypass miss, I think, is fantastic and makes her a great option against champions like Enchantress or Lumatrix. Bastion is another one. I think longevity wise he's going to be incredible. I think the more difficult mutants they add in, the better his value will become. So it's a bit of a rogue shout, that one, but I can firmly see him going up through the ranks. Now, honourable mentions, I've got Red Skull, very good dual threat, good on attack as well as defence, and I think people do sleep on him in that sense. There's definitely an argument for him going up to top tier, but for me I would take those ones first, the ones that I have in top tier, over Red Skull. Same can be said about Shocker. Has very good attacking output, but also some defensive output as well. Prowler, I mean, defensively not as strong, but has really good utility, and I really like Prowler. And then lastly, I've gone Sentinel. Now, I've put Sentinel down on the honourable mentions because I'm aware not everyone has him. I think Sentinel is a really, really, really good champ and so solid defensively. I think he's good on attack, but defensively, man, I hate fighting him. You have to get he's one of those champions where you need a good matchup. It's not just dependent on skill. You have to have the right matchup for this to work. And that's why I think he is a champion that I think you definitely should consider to rank for. For mutants, Onslaught, obvious choice. Incredible dual threat, one of the best dual threats in the game. Not much really needs to be said there. If you have him and you're debating who to rank for, he's probably the obvious choice across the game. I will say though, rank for a champion that you enjoy using, not just one that you see me highly rate. Do one that you like. Dazzler, she's got really good utility, and she's one of those ones where her attacking output is so high that it justifies her being in top tier, even though defensively she doesn't really have a lot going for her. Incredible damage output and good utility. Weapon X. Now, I know I'm being a hypocrite here by putting Sentinel lower and Weapon X higher. If you do have Weapon X, my justification here is he's so good on attack as well as defense. So good on attack. His numbers and his bleeds that he puts out are incredible, and I think he's such a good dual threat. And if you do have him, he would be a great one to take to rank 4 because hardly anyone has him. You would be literally weapon flexing on everyone. Dust, great dual champ, has unbelievable utility, and I think she's incredibly slept on. I think she's so underrated. Mr. Sinister, again, great dual threat, good on attack. I think he's slightly overrated, but hey ho, I can appreciate him. I've got Deadpool X-Force because he's an absolute nuke, has no defensive capabilities, but for Battlegrounds is one of the best. I love the fact they've designed him in a way where you can get off high damage bleeds, or if you want to avoid bleeds because someone's bleed immune, you have the way to go to the SP2 first and then the SP1, and then they just take mental damage either way. Jean Grey, just a pain in the arse on defense with her reverse controls, and she's also so good on attack. I've seen some great things about it. Again, recency bias might be coming into this a bit, but I think she looks so solid. She looks so good. Cyclops, for those who have him, I think Cyclops' damage looks nuts. I won't really be playing him because he's got a similar rotation to like Professor X, and where you're just constantly throwing specials, and as someone who runs suicides, it's not ideal at all because you'll end up nuking the majority of your health. But nevertheless, great champion. And again, bit of a rogue shout here because I know there are some other great options, but I've actually gone Omega Red. I think Omega Red, considering if we throw back to like a year ago, Omega Red was, or pre 7 stars, Omega Red was one of the best 6-star mutants in the game. And I think, because not everyone had access to get him, I think he's quite slept on. I think if we see Omega Red become a lot more readily available, I believe he will become a top tier mutant. He's still got incredible utility, and his ability to constantly do passive damage is great. You know, he can counter so many nodes, and I think for that reason I've got to have him at least in an honourable mention. So shout out anyone who's playing Omega Red in 2025, man. I like to see it. For science, I've gone with Photon, again up there with Onslaught, one of the best dual threats in the entire game. damage is stupid, her defense capabilities are stupid. Silk, not great on defense, but incredible on attack. She's so good, and possibly one of the best BG attackers in the entire game. Count Nefaria, the utility on this man is insane, and if you don't have him ranked up and you've got him awakened at a decent sig, take him up. He's so good. I've got mine at sig 200, and trust me, I finished the majority of fights with 100% health whilst also actively running suicides. He's incredible. Love his utility, and his damage is pretty good as well. As I said, on defense there's an argument he's not great, but on attack, brilliant. Red Guardian, I'm going to preface this by saying I'm very biased. I took Red Guardian up recently to rank 3 and I love him. He has one of the quickest high damage outputs in the entire game. I wouldn't actually be surprised, I'll go so far to say I think off the top of my head he probably has the quickest access to his high damage potential out of any character in the game. But your first hit of your heavy, as in your first attack, your first hit of the game, which can be a heavy attack, after your shield is broken, can do like 80k. It's nuts. Hulk, stupid damage, easy to play, can catch you off guard with his unstoppable on defense. I'm not saying he's a great defender because I know he's not, but just raw damage. Titania, on the honourable mentions, she has very good utility and very good damage. I like her. She's a bit more of a dual threat, but I think the thing is she can be a bit more of a pain to play. And I've noticed more with the AI being a bit weird, even when you do your SP3 rotation and you heavy spam in the corner, for some reason they'll still throw off special attacks and stuff like that. So Hulk is very much, he can just batter a fight irrelevant of AI. It's just, you have to play the fight in the easiest way to play it, and you just progressively ramp up, whereas Titania, you have to have a bit more skill around it, you have to have a bit more thought, you have to be a bit more conscious about the way the AI is operating. Still great though. Luke Cage, great attacker, great utility. Spider-Ham, great double threat, very good niche way of damaging with his power stings, which I really like. Any of these ways that you can damage the opponent in a bit of a unique way, especially with almost passive damage, is very good, and I think he's a top tier option. Spider-Woman, again, recency bias might come into this, but she seems like a real pain in the arse on defense as well as on attack. Her attacking numbers looks great. Her on defense, as I said, looks like a pain, and her utility looks very good. So take it with a pinch of salt because she is new, but again, great champion. Onto the Mystic class, we've got Kushala. If we're talking about a raw Mystic and someone who nullifies, who has access to Fate Seal, who can slow down buffs and just target cosmics, she is number one. Such a good attacker with such good utility. Shathra, she's a Mystic who doesn't really act like a Mystic, who can nuke any champion. Great damage. Again, on defense is minor, she's not great, but great attacking output. Tigra, one of the biggest nukes in the game. She's so good, so good. If you have her at Sig 200 and at rank 4, promise you won't regret it. You will be laughing at how quickly she nukes these fights, but she does require very high skill, and you have to learn the AI of every champion. Juggernaut, another nuke. His longevity is insane. When you pair him with his relic, he becomes even more dumb. You can just rattle off SP2s and just watch them melt in about 30 seconds. America Chavez, great utility, great damage. I love some of her key bits of utility that she has, especially against the Cosmics. All these like serpents that have all the power gain, she completely shuts that off. She has really good damage. She has access to heal through her SP2. I think she's a really good champion, and a good dual threat. So that's why she's up there. Now onto the honourable mentions. Now I know everyone's going to be looking at this and saying, "Where's Enchantress?" Enchantress, the reason she's not up here is because I physically cannot stand using her on attack. And for me, and for anyone out there, you want a champion to rank 4 who is, you can use on attack. And just for me, I would never use her on attack. So all of these champions I've worked out, for the most part, they do all have some element of attacking capabilities, because at the most part you are attacking more in this game than defending. So nevertheless, I've gone for Werewolf. Great dual threat, great damage, great defender. The Hood, incredible attacker, so slept on, so slept on. Has access to stupid numbers and has really good utility. White Tigra. I don't know why I say. Do you know what that's? Anyway, White Tiger. Everyone calls her Wigra. White Tiger has very good damage, and I love the utility. I love the way she can shut off mystics really well, and I love this kind of mystic ghost style gameplay with her. Really like it. Rintrah, another dual threat, really good attack capabilities, really good on defense. And lastly, we've got Cosmic, Deathless Thanos, up there with Onslaught and Photon. I think those three are set in stone. It'll be one of those three that you will probably, if you don't have a rank 4 or you don't have them up, those will be who you want to take up. Deathless Thanos, incredible on attack, incredible on defense. He stalls so well. You might look at him on paper and see his SP1 and his SP2 and go, oh, it's really easy to bait those. Yeah, it's easy. It's just a long old fight because he has so much protection on him. No, I don't think I need to say too much here. The most underrated champion in the game, I think, is incredible. He's a great dual threat. I've got mine at rank 4, SIG 200, and he is the most stupidly broken champion I've ever used. And that's including me with, I have a rank 4 Onslaught, a rank 4 Nick Fury, a rank 4 Future Ant-Man. Who else do I have? Is that it? Yeah, I think that's it. Oh, I have a rank 4 Serpent as well. I think Null's the best out of all of them. Medusa, great dual threat again. Her, on attack, she is nuts. I'd like to take her to rank 4 just to see her damage output, but she's also, when you get her at high 6, she's very stupid on defense as well. The Serpent, another just really obvious choice. Defensively, he is fantastic. I mean, I think there's a good argument there. He's the best defender in the game. I think that's a fair shout at this point. On attack, in longer fights he's good. Short fights he's a bit meh. But nevertheless, you've got to have him up there just based on how much of a pain he is on defense. Dark Phoenix, in my opinion, has significantly better attack than Serpent, and you could argue with the defense mechanics, because a lot of it is unavoidable damage. She does kind of match Serpent, but I think I will give Serpent the edge just because of how annoying he is, and not a lot of people have access to Dark Phoenix. But if you have Dark Phoenix, yeah, and you want to take her to rank 4, I really don't blame you. I think she's a really fun champ. I really like her. I like her on attack, as I said, as well as defense. She's probably the one that I'm looking at taking to rank 4 next. The honourable mentions, I've gone for Vox. No defensive capability here really, but very, very, very good on attack. Very underrated. I like Rox a lot. Hyperion. I've put him up here, and I know I'm going to get... People are going to look at the cosmic choices that I've gone for and been like, well, where's Venom? Or where's Gladiator or whatever. Gladiator? Why is that guy's name gone out of my head? Yeah, Gladiator. The reason I've gone for Hyperion is because I saw rank 4 footage of Hyperion, and he's just dumb. It's back to the phase where when everyone was rocking 6-star Hyperions and 5-star Hyperions because he was that broken. Well, he's that broken now, just in the 7-star class. He's nuts. He's so good, and he's annoying on defense as well. And lastly, I've gone for Adam Warlock because, again, Adam Warlock is good on attack and good on defense. I personally, he is the lowest on the honourable mentions out of them because I am not a massive fan of him, but I can appreciate him. I appreciate that. I can appreciate Adam Warlock. So these are the champions overall that I would definitely consider taking to rank 4. I think there's a phenomenal argument for all of them, especially the ones in top tier. So if you have any questions about any of them or you want my thoughts, then let me know in the comments. Just so you're aware, the ones that I have currently at rank 4 is I have Nick Fury, Future Ant-Man, Onslaught, Null and Serpent. My next ones I'm looking at are probably Dark Phoenix, Dust, Weapon X, or Zola. Or I'm going to sneak in Red Guardian in there, or Count Nefaria. Those are my main ones. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Drop a like if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you want to see more of it, and I'll catch you in the next one.